Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from The Hill that was published on December 27th. And all I got to say is creepy Uncle Joe is scared shitless of being subpoenaed and having to testify in front of the Senate during a Trump impeachment trial. It is so beautiful. He's shitting himself, or more precisely, he's shitting purple Twinkies right now. That's how friggin' scared he is. It's awesome. It's beautiful. He's trying to deflect. It's so hilarious. Now, this was written by Brooke Seipel here, and as I said, I believe already, this was published on the 27th. Biden says he would not comply with a Senate subpoena in Trump's impeachment trial. Yeah, you see what's funny is Trump says, I'm not going to comply, I'm going to take it to court, and they go, oh, that's obstruction. But, you know, you got this situation with Biden, and that's perfectly fucking fine. Okay, it's okay for creepy Uncle Joe to say fuck you to a subpoena, okay? But if Trump does it, obstruction, and that's literally one of their claims on the the House impeaching him, is because he's saying, take me to court to make me comply. That's obstruction. But creepy Uncle Joe does it, and it's perfectly fucking acceptable. Talk about bullshit Democrat double standards. Oh, you gotta love this shit. Former Vice President Joe Biden said Friday that he would not comply with a Senate subpoena to testify in President Trump's impeachment trial. Which, you notice, The Hill, they tend to lean left just a little bit, if you can sense the sarcasm on the little bit part. Okay, at least they've been going more and more left, we'll say. You don't see them saying, hey, that would be obstruction, motherfucker. Oh, no, they're perfectly fine with that. You gotta love the double standard bullshit that's going on here. What are you going to cover, Biden said, when asked about a subpoena in an interview with Des Moines Register's executive editor, Carol Hunter. You guys are going to cover for 3 weeks anything that I said, and Trump's going to get away. And I love that they have to put in brackets Trump. I'm sorry I had to stop right there, because obviously creepy Uncle Joe's stumbling over shit. And Trump's going to get away. You guys buy into it all the time. Not a joke. Wait a minute. He points out shit and it gets exposed and they don't like that. You know, and he don't like that. That's what that's saying. Okay. And he's afraid that they're going to take what he says because he'll be under oath and he knows that he's screwed. Well, he'll probably lie, but he knows that if he goes up there, he's going to get screwed by the situation. All right, and rightfully so, because he's going to have to testify to stuff, and you're going to have members of the Senate calling him out on his shit, bringing up Burisma, bringing up his relationships with members of the board, with him playing golf with them and shit, with his son. They're going to bring up all that, and he knows it. That's why he is scared shitless. He's freaking out right now. I mean, you can tell that his tonality is, what are you going to cover? You guys are going to cover for 3 weeks anything that I said, and Trump's going to get away. And you guys buy it all the time. Not a joke. You know it had that tonality, like when he was dealing with the guy, and the guy called him out, and he's like, well, I'm not going to vote for you. And creepy Uncle Joe was like getting all worked up and was like, oh, let's do push-ups. You know, like, that's kind of like, you can tell that's how he reacted. It was the same type of shit. He had the same type of reaction. He went on to say it would be part of Trump's tactic to take focus off himself. You mean literally point out that there was a rightful investigation into your son, not a political opponent? Since when is your kid running for president, by the way? This was literally about looking into Burisma, okay, as part of this. And that was brought on later on in the conversation, which would not be looking into a political opponent, because you're looking into Hunter Biden, who exploited his father's position to gain these type of his own, and on the note of him, to gain certain positions. I hated using positions twice there like that, but anyway. And because he did that and enriched himself, and there looks like there was a lot of other shady shit going on, looking into that, and then the fact of Joe Biden protecting his kid, and saying, well, hey, they talk about Trump withholding aid. Biden literally said, either you stop the investigation, and he bragged about it at a Council on Foreign Relations friggin' function, okay? He bragged about it at a CFR function. CFR are global. They're all globalist shit pigs. Okay, you listen to him laugh and get off at the fact that he told Ukraine, I was about to say the Ukraine, which is Soviet era, but Ukraine. He basically told Ukraine to bend over and take it up the ass. And they're like, oh, look at what he did to the Ukraine. Because the Ukraine, they're not really globalist loving people. They were loving that. He bragged about it. And, oh, well, there's nothing to see there, and I would have to testify to that, and then you would use that. That's what's going on. I mean, he's scared shitless. Think what it's about. It's all about what he does all the time. His entire career. Take the focus off. Really, since when? And I love this. Take the focus off. It's like a partial sentence. Anyway, Biden continued. The guy violated the Constitution. No, he didn't. Nowhere did he violate the Constitution. You people keep claiming he violated the fucking Constitution, and you haven't proved shit. One of your claims of him violating the fucking for impeachment is he literally said, "Take me to court," following the Constitution. Get bent, creepy Uncle Joe. Seriously, dude. Get bent, buddy. You're scared shitless. You're freaking out right now, creepy Uncle Joe. He said it in the driveway of the White House. He acknowledged he asked for help. No, he did not ask for help. He did not acknowledge asking for help. This is such bullshit. Oh my God, creepy Uncle Joe deflecting here. It's so funny. The comments come as the Senate's timeline for impeachment and witness strategy remains up in the air. Yeah, because they're not going to allow the Democrats in the House to dictate the impeachment trial. You've literally got them. You've got friggin' Nancy Pelosi and others saying that, Mitch McConnell should recuse himself. And the only Republican that they would be okay with taking over this investigation that they would claim is impartial would be like Mitt Romney. That's like the only motherfucker that they would be okay with. They would be okay with that piece of shit who ran Massachusetts into the friggin' ground, who friggin', in spite of him, okay, all with Dunkin' Donuts, all the franchisees saved the company after he raped and pillaged it. They want that type of scumbag because he's their type of guy. That's why they want Mitch McConnell to recuse himself. That's their idea of a fair fucking trial. Because if they said, hey, let's have Rand Paul. Because Rand Paul would be impartial. All right? Even though he's like, well, this is the Constitution and stuff like that. Because he looks at the Constitution like his father, he knows the Constitution. So he's been speaking out against the impeachment, but he would at least be impartial. Have an actual trial, But no, they go, he ain't impartial. The only one they'd be good with would be like, some neocon shitbag. Never Trump. Waste of space. And they go, that's impartial. Lawmakers left the Capitol for the holiday recess without solid plans for a trial after House Democrats decided to delay transmitting the articles to the Senate. Yes, because they're trying to dictate what goes on in the Senate. They are literally trying to overstep their authority and their power and say, we tell you what goes on in the Senate. That's what they're trying to do right now by holding this off. They're hoping that they can literally browbeat Mitch McConnell into recusing himself. Or set up rules that they want because they want to continue the investigation into the actual trial. That's not how trials work. And they also want to shift the blame, they want to shift the burden onto Trump. Okay, you are innocent until proven guilty, but they want to go from the basis he's guilty and force him to try to prove his innocence with all this bullshit, which is kind of funny. They want to literally, during a trial, have an investigation going on during the fucking trial, because that's what these witnesses are. It's a fishing expedition. It's an investigation that they want to call during the friggin' thing. They don't want Republicans to be able to call like creepy Uncle Joe here. I'm going to ignore the subpoena. Oh, well, that's fine for creepy Uncle Joe, but if Trump does it, it's obstruction. You got to love this bullshit. It's so friggin' ridiculous. The House voted before the holidays to impeach Trump, accusing him of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Yes, obstruction, because he literally said, take me to court and get a court to make me to comply. That's fucking obstruction to them. They even said that when they announced the vote. When they announced that they impeached him. They went, well, because, it could take so long because he's saying, take me to court, and the courts are slow moving. That's obstruction of Congress. And I'm looking and I'm going, when I was watching that going, are you fucking kidding me? These people actually think that, that are up there at the podium, actually think that the average American's going to buy that shit when most Americans have watched at least one episode of Law and Order and probably have more of a clue about law than they do from that one episode of Law and Order. Under the Senate rules, an impeachment trial starts the day after the House transmits the articles to the chamber, unless that day is a Sunday. However, Speaker Nancy Pelosi declined to say when the articles would be handed over to the Senate, citing concerns that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell would not hold a fair trial. See, their idea of a fair trial is him recusing himself and then some neocon never-Trump shitbag overseeing the whole thing. That is what they want. Or they'd be happy with a Democrat running the show. That's what their idea of a fair trial is. And it's complete horse shit. The rules say they got to transmit the shit. Well, that they would impeach, they didn't have the idea of transmitting, but it would be walked over to the Senate originally. Now, I wonder if someone took it, let's just say they're not even in the House, but someone say took the impeachment articles, snuck in, did some real covert shit, and they snuck into the House of Representatives, and they took them, and they walked them over to the Senate. Would that satisfy the constitutional situation, and could the Senate just go on it? Because at that point, that's when you want to find some staffer or some shit that does Mission Impossible, they can be wearing their expensive Apple earbuds and be rocking out the Mission Impossible theme, be like dun 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 dun, and go over, take them, and then bring them over to the Senate and go, fuck you, Nancy. That would be the shit. Because the way it was originally written was it was just walked over. It doesn't have to be electronically transmitted. So if someone physically took a hard copy and did that, could they literally just tell Nancy and Schiff and everyone else and Nadler and all them to go fuck themselves and Mad Maxine and be like, hey, all go fuck yourselves? That's one thing I'm wondering about. That would actually be pretty cool if it happened. Well, that ain't fair. Well, fuck you, Nancy. It's within the rules. It was walked over. Oh, I think that's what we need to happen. Her announcement came after a series of behind-the-scenes negotiations on the trial. Yeah, basically, she's trying to blackmail and arm twist and everything else because they want to be able to dictate what goes on in a Senate trial. They have no power or authority over the Senate and what they do within the halls within the halls of the Senate. So if they're doing the impeachment trial, they get to dictate what's going on. And that really pisses off the Democrats because they know they can't control what's going on. And they're trying their damnedest. So they're being belligerent children going, we're not going to give you this because we want things our way. And until you give us things our way, you're not going to get it. Come on now. What are you, 12? Oh, wait. They're Trump-deranged, orange man bad dipshits. So, of course, mentally, they've regressed to about that age. McConnell has indicated that he and Republican leadership will cooperate with the White House on the trial. He has also expressed an unwillingness to include witness testimony, which Democrats demanded. Okay, Mitch McConnell, it's well, didn't he just say the other day, yeah, we can have him, we'll bring creepy Uncle Joe on? Actually, I believe he did say that. Trump's saying, let's have him. Let's bring creepy Uncle Joe. Let's bring his son Hunter. The Democrats don't want witnesses beyond the ones that they want to bring there. All right. They only want those witnesses. They're trying to rig this trial. It's a the Senate trial. They're trying to turn the impeachment trial into a kangaroo court. So they're trying, like I said, to get, they want McConnell to recuse himself. The only shitbag that they would want, there's a never Trump shitbag running the show. So that pretty much leaves, Mitt scumbag Romney. They would be perfectly fine with that. That's the only one they would be perfectly fine with running the friggin' thing. And they'd call it a fair trial. And I love this. Well, they want witness testimony. They only want certain witnesses. It's just, they don't want to be honest about shit. Biden is indirectly involved with impeachment as House inquiry was launched after a whistleblower report showed Trump asked the Ukrainian president to investigate the former vice president and his son, Hunter Biden. Bullshit. That's a lie. He said he wanted an investigation into Burisma, which Hunter Biden was on the board of. That had nothing to do with creepy Uncle Joe at the time. He did not say investigate creepy Uncle fucking Joe. And there's no guarantee that creepy Uncle Joe will make it to the friggin', point of where he will win the Democrat nomination and be running against Trump. So to say that he's a political rival at this point is also complete and total fucking horseshit. You people are scumbags. You people are such sleazy, disgusting, vile, pieces of shit to try to push this on the American people and think they're going to buy this shit. Okay? The CNN poll is like the only poll that says, there's still a majority of people who want Trump impeached, orange man bad. Every other fucking poll says, no, the Americans don't want it. They think the impeachment's complete bullshit. Well, a majority. It's a slim majority, but it's still a majority. And you think that you're going to sway more people back the other way when it went from them wanting impeachment to now more people don't want it? Not going to happen. Especially with the fact of when there's this fishy, shady shit going on with Nancy going, well, I'm not going to give you the articles of impeachment because we're not going to have a trial until I get to dictate what's going on. I mean, give me a fucking break. You people think this shit's going to fly. This isn't 30, 40 years ago where you idiots ran the fucking media. Okay, you had your freaking elitist class of the press, for lack of a better term. Your what we would call legacy media today. Deciding what the masses, the unwashed masses, got to consume for news and information. That's no longer the case. But you think you still have that type of sway of when you had that type of power and that type of control over what people consumed for news and information. It doesn't work like that anymore. Trump requested information on the Biden family after Joe Biden pushed for the removal of Ukrainian prosecutor who was looking into Burisma, a Ukrainian company with ties to Hunter Biden. He actually said to look into Burisma. Okay, he did not have the Ukrainians look into it. All right. It was Giuliani looking into the fucking creepy Uncle Joe shit as Trump's frigging attorney, which is perfectly fucking legal. And I love how they try to conflate the two. You got Giuliani doing his investigation, and you have Trump, when you look at the transcript, not doing what they're claiming, and they're trying to say, because Giuliani was doing that and this and that. They're literally trying to connect the dots. It's like, because I never watched Always Sunny, but it's like the fucking retard from Always Sunny with his red string all over the place. That's the shit they're trying to do here. And the thing is their strings aren't lining up. There's like no fucking path to follow. It's so fucked up. Trump and Republicans have suggested corruption by the Bidens, but past investigations of the matter have shown no wrongdoing by Biden or his son. Oh, wait a minute. You mean past investigation? You mean the investigation? There was no actual investigation. What happened is the prosecutor was replaced and he shut the fucking investigation down. That is not an investigation, you lying sacks of fucking shit. Or I should say this particular lying sack of shit here, Brooke Seipel, Brooke, you're a lying sack of shit. I will call you that to your face if I was to ever see you in public in real life, bitch, and I knew it was you. I'd be like, you're a lying sack of shit, bitch. You're a Trump deranged lying sack of shit, bitch. You're an Uncle Joe. Get on your knees, all right, after he fucking caresses and sniffs your hair and juggle his nuts with your tongue. That's the type of person you are, clearly, all right? When you'll fucking push this shit, this narrative type bullshit. And I'm sorry for putting it like that, but clearly, she wants to get on her knees and juggle these for creepy Uncle Joe when she's going to push this bullshit of, oh, there was an investigation. No, there was an investigation going on that was finding criminal shit, and the prosecutor was removed, and the guy that was put in shut the damn thing down. That's not an investigation, bitch. Well, it was a partial investigation, I should say, and it found shady criminal shit going on involving Hunter. So shut the fuck up. And I'm sorry I got really bad at the end here with the language, but I mean, this is just ridiculous shit. Despite past investigations, some are still calling for probes of Ukraine and corruption, and false claims that Ukraine meddled in the 2016 presidential election have also resurfaced. No, that was never fucking said. This is the complete bullshit narrative, okay? It was a company out of the Ukraine, CrowdStrike, that looked at the DNC server and said, oh yeah, Russians hacked it. Holy shit. That is what was said. They told the FBI, along with the DNC, to get bent on looking at the server and looking at the data. How is that not meddling? You have a company run by foreign fucking nationals. Well, they got two Americans here type thing, but it was done by an investigation done by foreign nationals, and then they tell the federal government to go fuck themselves. How is that not interfering? How the hell is that not interfering? That is interfering by the very foreign interference by the very fucking definition. When you have a U.S. law enforcement agency saying, yeah, to the DNC and CrowdStrike, turn over the server. And they're going, no, fuck you. And you got foreign nationals saying it? Yeah, that's foreign interference. And they're not even bringing that up as foreign interference. They want to know where the data that was, forensically looked at, where it is, because it's probably still in the Ukraine somewhere. All right, because the Democrats don't want that data out here either, which is why they're pushing this bullshit narrative. Sorry about my phone. I gotta remember to put that on silent or at least vibrate. Anyway, but I mean, the thing is they're trying to portray this like a completely different situation, and they're trying to portray it like, oh, creepy Uncle Joe didn't do nothing. Don't listen to this. Don't look over here. They're saying creepy Uncle Joe. It's okay for creepy Uncle Joe to say, fuck you, I'm not going to comply with a subpoena from the Senate. But if Trump does that with the House and says, take me to court, it's obstruction of Congress. I mean, this is the fucked up, twisted shit. And then they lie about what's going on with Hunter Biden and creepy Uncle Joe, his fucking, blood spitting out the eye daddy. I mean, come on now. They think the American people are stupid, and they're as spoon-fed as they were 30, 40 fucking years ago, 50 years ago. That they can just feed us bullshit and we'll buy it. That's no longer the case. And creepy Uncle Joe and the left and Democrats are scared shitless right now about a Senate trial with him having to testify and Hunter having to testify. They don't want that. They only want a Senate trial where their witnesses get called and creepy Uncle Joe and Hunter and anyone else that could expose the criminality of the Democrats, all right, and their shady dealings. They don't want that dirty laundry to be aired. They don't want their witch hunt bullshit with their created out of thin air Russian narrative induced, investigation into Trump. They don't want any of that to be aired out because they don't want the American people to see that was literally used to bring us to the impeachment trial and have that exposed at it. All right, they don't want people to see how that was used to bring us where we would be at that point. They don't want it. Creepy Uncle Joe is afraid. Trump is really pissing off these people. But instead of just pissing them off and having them like get mad, they're feeling fear. And that's a good thing. But anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.